with the four fabulous flappers. We're here with Francis,
Dorothy,
Fanny, Madge.
we have some exciting news for you today at AELM 96.3 FM.
With Facts with Fanny.
Woo!
Welcome to Facts with Fanny. Today we will take a look at the major events that have occurred in the past decade. To get us started, we will take an inside look at the events surrounding Black Tuesday and the Great Depression. Black Tuesday is known and recognized as the day of the Wall Street crash and is commonly recognized as the start of the Great Depression. Prior to Black Tuesday, the stock markets had already dropped 40% in 8 weeks, the most drastic drop the stocks had ever seen before. Little did investors, brokers, and buyers know that this was just the beginning of years of depression and the worst drops were yet to come. Citizens of the world are affected by the stock market crash due to the fact that the United States came out of the war as major financier for the countries in Europe whose economy was upset due to the war. When the United States were unable to support themselves, let alone other countries, many nations were also dragged into the continuous economic slump. To try and protect their countries, tariffs were put on imported goods. Now, no one could afford to ship or trade with other countries. This led to the Reciprocal Trade Agreement, where Canada and the United States agreed that they would not raise tariffs and taxes on goods coming from one country to the other. So both countries didn't have another expense to add to people who were already struggling because of the economic downfall due to the Wall Street crash. Moving on to politics. The main political leaders of the 30s were William Lyon Mackenzie King and R.B. Bennett. Bennett was the leader of the Conservative Party. Before Bennett was in office, King had led the country through the prosperous years of the 20s, when Canada was thriving and at an economic high. But King could not see past what was right in front of him and never looked ahead to the uprising economic crisis. Once Bennett was elected, he seemed to offer more hope. He told citizens that the Conservative Party's goal was to get the workers back on their feet and make more work for as many people possible. In the beginning of his term as Prime Minister, Bennett had never really acted on his words. Canadian citizens started to lose faith in him. Bennett eventually came up with the idea of work camps, which led to another major event in the past decade, the Ottawa Trek and Regina riot. Because of all the job cuts, workers were in work camps trying to earn a living. The camps were run sort of like the military, and workers lived in poor conditions. Even though the conditions outside the camps weren't that much different from being cramped quarters and were usually shared, the camps were crowded, filthy, and workers were paid next to nothing. Workers could not complain in groups to the organizers of the camp. If they wanted to complain, they could only do it one-on-one. Groups trying to fight against what the camps were doing were not permitted. The workers had little success when trying to reason individually with the organizers, since workers could not do anything collectively to improve their working conditions. In turn, the workers went on strike and started to protest. Workers decided that drastic times called for drastic measures, and they needed the government to witness firsthand one of their protests. And what better place to display than on Parliament Hill? On the way to Ottawa, workers stopped at cities like Calgary, Medicine Hat, Swift Current, Moose Jaw, and finally Regina. Protesters had been traveling by railway when the 2,000 workers were headed into Regina. The train was stopped. Officials said that they could not continue on to Ottawa like they had planned due to labor laws. The train was stopped. Workers were furious and riots broke out. There wasn't a positive outcome after the event for government or the workers. Another unique situation in Canadian politics was when the Cooperative Commonwealth Federation, a democratic socialist party, was trying to be formed by citizens whose main goal was to end the Great Depression or at least stop the ripple effect that it was having on Canada. Another unusual event in politics at this time was the Social Credit. Social Credit was a party trying to get people to basically share their money with each other to create a stable economy in Canada, but the party had little success in provincial elections. The Union Nationale was also a party that never maintained very much success. The party was served from Quebec from 1936 to 1939 and 1944 to 1960, as well as 1966 to 1970.
Don't you hate coming home from a long day at work, getting out of the shower, and your skin feels all tight and rough? Switch your soap to Ivory soap bars. You will instantly notice the difference when the soap bar glides smoothly over your body, leaving a trail of clear bubbles behind it. Once you're out of the shower, your skin will feel moisturized, fresh, and smooth. One use can make your skin feel renewed. It's only $3.47 for 10 bars in a package, 12% less than the leading brand. Switch to Ivory. You'll never go back. Guaranteed. We are now back with the weather with Madge.
For the weekly weather for Toronto, you'll be seeing absolutely no rain anytime soon. What else would you expect in the dirty 30s? And we aren't even getting the worst of the hot, dry heat. All across the prairies in Western Canada are experiencing extreme dust storms and drought, creating virtually impossible conditions for farming. With all of this heat, be sure to save up your water and contribute to help making clean water for the unfortunate. If you don't think it can get any drier, think again, because this season is going to be the hottest time of the season. On Monday this week, it'll be roughly 20 degrees in the morning, and around lunch gets the high of 43 in the afternoon, so be sure to put on that sunblock or stay out of the sun. For Tuesday, it'll be 30 to 35 degrees already in the morning and hit the highest peak, 40 degrees in the evening. Wednesday and Thursday, it'll be 20 to 28 degrees and a high of 35 in the afternoon. By Thursday's evening, which gets to 45 to 49 in the afternoon, which is going to be the trigger towards the dust storm towards Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday are all the dust storm days, so we decide to advise you to stay inside out of the dust storm because it does get harsh conditions. Thank you.
We are going to take a quick break and we will be back with Sports with Francis. Maybelline eyeshadow. It's the purest, smoothest, most durable eyeshadow on the market. It is available at your local drugstore. Buy it while you can.
Now here's Sports with Francis.
Saturday night, the Green Packers won the National Football League title. Also, the 1932 Summer Olympics were announced to be held in Los Angeles. FIFA was the first cup ever to be held, and unfortunately, Ukraine won. Congratulations to Jenny Keller, who was the first person to bowl a perfect 300 game. Also, Roberta Rankak wins the first of Toronto, wins the first U.S. all-around gymnastics championships. Congrats, Roberta.
Is everyone ready to get the inside scoop on today's finest celebrities? They have the most gorgeous urban sets, and you should see their cake baskets. It's all coming up after the break when we return with Dorothy's report. Nix, not for me. Sailors with dull white teeth can stay on their battle wagon. Do your teeth lack luster? Old-fashioned, slow-cleaning toothpaste are frequently to blame. Stop using slow toothpaste right away. They can only do a halfway job of keeping teeth clean. Don't waste your time with them. Try this new, more certain way to have sparkling white teeth. Get Dr. Wett's Double Quick Toothpaste at your ship service store or canteen today.
One of the growing stars of the 30s is sweet little Shirley Temple, now known as America's Sweetheart. She recently started her career in 1934 with the film Stand Up and Cheer. Another popular star in the 30s, best known for his cartoons, is Walt Disney. In 1932, he won an Academy Award for Flowers and Trees.
How do you believe?
Oh my God. Amelia Earhart spent most of her 30s providing that women were fully capable of operating an airplane when she flew over the Atlantic Ocean solo, but recently mysteriously disappeared when attempting to fly all the way around the world. Why go to a movie during such a troubled time? What made sitting in a theater for an hour and a half worth a hard-earned 15 cents? Just like Franklin Roosevelt said, during the Depression, when the spirit of the people is lower than any other time, it is a splendid thing that just for 15 cents an American could go out to a movie and look at the smiling face of a baby and forget all of his troubles. We're going for a commercial. We will be back soon. Have a nice day.
My goodness, Prohibition is gone. Now any day is a lovely day for a Guinness. Feel free to sit back, relax, and enjoy. Guinness is good for you. Drink for extra strength. And remember, there's nothing like a Guinness.
That's it for
Facts with Fanny.
Weather with Madge.
Sports with Francis.
Gossip with Dorothy.
Tune in tomorrow.
The four fabulous flappers.